Going from left to right, Sacred Heart.
Number 9, Jada Rudkin here is going to take the kick.
Getting under it very nicely. Pioneers looking to get started there. Tortosil did well to get under it. And putting everybody on the right-hand side, Cunningham. And
Reese Woods on the break.
Woods. And Reese Woods come through, and then she offloads it. And then Allie Cunningham just strides on through. That's exactly how they drew it up. Those two recruiting gets, the Wood sisters, have been a big part of that. They come out of Idaho. They're twin sisters, and they were recruited together to go to Sacred Heart. There was a huge improvement for the team that they'll have for several years. But there, the hard run, the offload, try under the post.
Absolutely, and they're both so dynamic. Reese and Olivia can both slot in the front row or back at 8. And they both were wrestlers in high school, so their point of contact is just fantastic. And Reese can
be a knock on, but you can see how that was forming. Very dangerous for Penn State to contain.
Absolutely. I will say, though, you can see the differences between teams because we've had a few breakdowns here, and Penn State's not contesting them. They would rather have all players on their feet, but they are having a player in the backfield in case of a kick threat.
McSorley puts it in for Penn State. Out quickly now. Lions looking to make something happen. A loop move.
Half gap there for Jada.
Well won in that ruck, and the pass just not quite there, running a little sideways. That was Callie Rautenbach hoping to get that pass and just go around on the outside. McSorley saying it was her fault, which I'm not sure. That's very nice of her to say that.
I was taught very early that if you are 9, everything's your fault.
Ah, that's true. Very true.
Just got to take it on the chin.
Yes. Cunningham just
Great
barely.
Defense.
Yeah, she tries to get that out there. McSorley instead is all over her. That's Penn State ball. And once again, sent out. Rudkin trying to find somebody. Good defense from Sacred Heart. Contesting at the breakdown. Penn State now a little bit more solid possession. See if they can work on that, but they've got Woods right in their face. And the poach. And the offload. Right now. Into the breakdown. Caldon in for the try, and simple as that. Caitlin Caldon comes in to score. Local Connecticut player, and that is another try for Sacred Heart.
It was a great set piece there by Penn State, but like I said earlier, it's imperative that if we are drifting out with the ball, somebody has to straighten us up, and that's exactly what happened there. Reese, on defense, was able to read that. She was confident in taking space.
And the kick is
and
away,
able to make that hit.
Still 12-0, but there you see ball 1, and quickly just one pass out. Caldon's got a lot of space. They say don't run sideways, but if you have that much space to your side, may as well take an angle.
Well, and you have that speed as well. Yeah. I would not back myself in that.
And the kick did not go 10, but it was played by Penn State, so we're playing on.
Messy bodies here.
McSorley took it herself and lucked out perhaps a little bit because she was about to lose the ball and it ended up being a knock-on by Sacred Heart. And that choice, Carly, is to when to play a short kickoff or not. It's a risky one.
It is a risky one, especially because you're receiving a kickoff, your spacing is significantly more than any other play. So unless you really back yourself down that edge, big contest there at the scrum.
DeMassa sends it out. McSorley now picked up by Holler.
Could be a 3-on-2 on the edge here if we work around.
Rudkin just takes it straight ahead. Sacred Heart spreading fairly quickly. Once again, DeMassa. DeMassa going straight into contact.
Backing herself well there with 3-on-2 on the edge. Let's see what they can do.
Holler to Lusak. It's a high tackle. Haven't seen a lot of high tackles so far today, which is nice. And that one, penalty. Rudkin now taps. Now looking to charge onto it. Penn State working their way down the field. It's not breakaway stuff, but it is effective. Holler looking to make that offload. It's not there, so just eats it. Now Heffinger.
Great break by Hoffman there. Great read.
Brilliant breakthrough. Gabriella Hoffman in for the try. The senior showing a little bit of veteran knowledge and taking that ball at pace and going in for a try that Penn State really, really needed.
Absolutely. Penn State has great depth, and they certainly have a plan in mind, but I would love to see them play at the line a little bit more, manipulate a defender, put your teammate into space that favors them. Let them execute their strength. Within that phase there, Hoffman ran a fantastic inline, gained 5 meters on the carry, worked back out, and was able to get it on the edge again and read the slice.
Well, she knew what she was going to do from the beginning, just put her head down. The kick is good, by the way, 12-7, very important. Makes it a lot easier to tie this game up for the Nittany Lions. And that kick, that didn't go 10, and that one was played by the receiving team. So it's play on.
Could be diving over there on the attack.
Ball out to Cunningham.
Speed on the edge there, an inside support and an outside support. That's great to see from Sacred Heart.
Well, she sold a dummy instead, and everybody worried about what she was going to do with the ball. Instead, let's worry about what she's going to do with her legs. Cunningham with another breakaway try.
She sold that like a box of Thin Mints. They're gone.
They're gone.
That was great.
And Allie Cunningham, a Sorensen Award nominee, had this is a player that I had seen a little bit of, and then I saw in a sevens tournament last April, and I thought she was dominant in that tournament, and she has been quite effective in this first half. The first half, which is done. We are done. And we are coming back with the second half. 17-7, Sacred Heart leads.
CRAA. He's over the line.
Actually, that was off a breakaway as well. That was consolidated. So we'll see if that story is the same tale in the second half. A long, deep kick from Cunningham. Just barely controlled by Hefflinger, but they're going to call a knock-on on that. A little bit of a harsh one, I think, perhaps.
Well, and the delay on the call as well is what makes it harder.
With your back to where the ball was coming from, but it is a knock-on, and it is a scrum for Sacred Heart. This is a really nice situation for the Pioneers. For Shu, Germendi putting it in.
They've made a few sub changes here, so it's good to see how their fresh legs will impact this team.
Big drive from Penn State, but the ball is out.
It's definitely never left the tunnel.
Torres Brown. Still up, still on their feet.
Great defense here.
And that is going to be held up. No try. Back to a penalty. We don't see offside.
That's
offside.
the secondary.
Tapped quickly. Out to Tortosil. Tortosil just tries that offload, and the ball is dropped.
Great gain line defense here by Penn State.
And we are going to go back because I think we're going to end up call for a knock-on before that try scored. As you can see, Sacred Heart was not celebrating, but there's the little offload and the ball dropped there, which I think the referee was unsided. Assistant referee saw it, and we're going to go back to...
I did not see the secondary sign there, but he's giving the scrum to Sacred Heart. Potentially a high wrap there, given it was try-line defense.
Scrum won by Sacred Heart. Back out to Woods. Tortosil. Well defended once again by Penn State. As Carly said, goal line defense really tenacious here. Torres Brown still on her feet. Popping it off to Wright. Wright just goes straight ahead. Cleared out. Gamendi trying to get in there, but Penn State guilty of not rolling away. The tap. And the try. McKenna Wright, the out of Nanton, Alberta, who wants to be a sports journalist, and she actually wants to be a sideline reporter. Maybe we can put her to work this weekend. As we get ready for the conversion, but that is a huge try for Sacred Heart. They get the kick over as well. And Carly, let's see what happened here. Just a basic. She was right there on the mark. So she got the tap. That was fine. A couple of fortunate calls for Sacred Heart. Maybe. We'll start with the knock-on off the kickoff. That put Sacred Heart into that attacking position.
Yep.
Certainly, Penn State will want to control that one. That one is well controlled by McSorley. McSorley going up, fending off one, fending off another. Well won by Penn State, but that pass not really going to anybody. Rescued by DeMassa.
Sun is starting to come out here, and humidity is absolutely rising, so that's definitely having to make an impact on these players.
Players having to get used to it. Players from different parts of the country. There's Lusak. Lusak goes into two, commits them, well cleared out. Those rucks working, but there's an awful lot of territory for Penn State to have to cover. McSorley now. She sets it back. Once again, the ruck won.
Sacred Heart looking very connected here on defense.
DeMassa trying to get something going. They're hit well behind the gain line. Hefflinger. Lusak. And a knock-on by Penn State. No, forward pass, excuse me. Forward pass by Penn State. And that's a function of them being pushed back and being pushed back. So very difficult for Penn State. Sacred Heart coming right in on them. So we see the wind picking up a little bit today. And we talked about how the wind maybe doesn't pose much of a factor on the kicking game, but you never know.
Something just blew off the roof.
Yeah,
so.
Something just blew off the roof, and the flags are changing direction. I don't know. I think you can see the tents that are billowing around, but the wind is changing direction moment to moment. As Penn State now in severe trouble, under severe pressure. Sacred Heart get that ball out. Going weak. Here's the run weak side. Tortosil. And out again. Now they've popped Germendi out into a first receiver position. Sacred Heart going backwards now.
That's forward pass. Yep.
Forward pass. And the same situation, being pushed forward and not realigning as well as they could.
Well, both teams have done it now, and whether it's the ball going backwards or fumbling a pass, you as the carrier still have to go forward. It is on both you and your supporters to take space, because if you just pass and pivot, there's nothing easier to defend than that. You're not a threat, and we can just come forward and take space.
Kelly Rautenbach puts it into the scrum, takes it out the back of the scrum, goes weak. That pass does not connect. A little bit flat. Torres Brown trying to make something happen for Sacred Heart. 2 knock-ons. We're back down to another scrum. Plays right into the hands of Sacred Heart, who are quite happy to see this game bleed away. As the time ticks down to the magic 14, 24-7. Sacred Heart winning in this Pool B matchup. Loose pass. Gathered up. Sacred Heart. Oh, there's the little chicken wing pass. Can it happen? Popped back inside.
Great defense.
Millian Faustin. Back again. Good offloads from her. Tortosil.
Trick defender there by the ref. Good read by Sacred Heart to fake the pass and take the space.
Millian Faustin just charging through, and she likes to do this. She'll come on as a late impact sub, and she does make an impact. She doesn't go down easily, and they use her for those last few minutes in the game, and that has put it away 29-7. Carly, a difficult game for Penn State.
It is, but 3 more games on the day, and tomorrow as well.
The kick is good. That'll make it 31-7. Pretty emphatic victory for Sacred Heart today, and it has been so far a Naira day in the Premier Sevens.